looking good. That's right, is the dope dad himself, Rico Lamitte.
Everybody, thank you for that another illustrious introduction, Jason. So my story today, let me make sure this on. Sorry, my short story today is coming from several sources, but I got the majority of it from Los Angeles Times, and it has been 551 days since the bulk of entrepreneurs in Costa Mesa, California paid their dues in hopes of what seemed to be the best opportunity left in Southern California to launch a retail cannabis business. That's right. Nearly 2 years later, new laws have been passed, new leadership seated, and they'd rather give out free flight vouchers and partial refunds just to move forward in the right direction, reneging on promises made in a time nobody really remembers. In an attempt to clear what it's calling a processing backlog plaguing the city's development services department, Costa Mesa City Council members Tuesday voted 6-0 to authorize a refund of licensing and permitting fees to 45 applicants that have been waiting since August 2021 for conditional licenses. Aspiring retailers who've spent hundreds of thousands over a period to operate legally will soon be offered a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to recoup some of those losses, should they choose the tried and true method of pulling out. The council says it has allocated roughly 25% of time and personnel resources toward reviewing 63 retail applications, despite only 14 permits being issued in the time period. Applicants voluntarily choosing to withdraw will be entitled to a full refund of Costa Mesa's $18,499 conditional use and $19,732 cannabis business fees charged for permits, an estimated $866,048 collected is on the table from cases that have yet to go before Planning Commission for approval. The move comes after an announcement by Costa Mesa officials that they'll be revisiting the 2021 retail cannabis ordinances drafted that failed to place a cap on the number of dispensaries and place no distance buffers between them. Council members say processing the applications is taking up too much staff time and placing a, quote, chokehold on other priorities. Specifically, the implementation of newly passed gentrification bill, Measure K, which would allow the development of housing in commercial and industrial areas while keeping residential neighborhoods intact and revitalizing commercial corridors. In his best impression of a blackjack dealer offering insurance to a table full of wary gamblers, Costa Mesa Mayor John Stevens said he'd prefer anyone willing to bow out do so now before the council potentially revises its approval process. Local Karen and noted prohibitionist Shelley Walsh said that she supports the city halting the application process, saying it has created such a glut and logjam in the city. If it is taking up 25% of the city's time, that means people who want permits to remodel their houses, Measure K, all this stuff is on the back burner. We are the residents, and we should be the recipients of what we pay for. Mayor Stevens, who's grown bored with the whole cliche cannabis movement, agreed. The 14 lucky winners of licenses are good enough for him, and it's time to move on, is what he said. Our focus is shifting elsewhere. I think it's fair to those who did invest in Costa Mesa the opportunity to recoup at least part of their investment if it did not work out. Well, there you have it, folks. 14 retailers who've spent God knows how much on the opportunity to sell weed in one of the richest counties in California, essentially being offered participation trophies for their efforts. Sounds a bit white to me, but I'm interested in how the rest of y'all feel. What about you, Jason? What's this sound like to you?
I mean, this to me just sounds like the best way to escape out of lawsuits and a whole trove of lawsuits.
They're not going to escape out of lawsuits from this, dude. Like people have paid like that much. They went through the process. It was the law. It was given. It was open season. Like, okay, we are going to do this. Give us your money. Start prepping your business. 2 years later, hey, we have new people in here. We're not going to allow any of these licenses to move forward. We're going to change the rules. Here's your fees back. You spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably millions for some of them, already prepping your business over
Cut
2
it out.
years.
No one spent millions.